A man who lives in Golden Valley believes the world needs more positivity, and he's trying to spread his positive message through a book. We sat down with Ron Henderson to learn more about his book, Activate Your Inner Shark, in today's Newsmakers.
My book is really about the process of people making the best versions of themselves and how they do that. And you hear a lot of people talking about improving this and improving in that. But I've broken it down in such a way that makes people realize that to become the best versions of themselves, they have to actually prepare to do that. They have to be prepared mentally and physically, but it's a process that I call self-staging.
Like you're staging your home.
Like you're staging your home, yep. And when you self-stage properly, you do what I call, you're activating that inner shark in you, and you become a predator for positivity.
All right, so it's about changing your outlook.
Outlook, emotions, and everything, so that you're no longer being controlled by people's actions, people's words. So they're recognizing those triggers, so when something happens that irritates them, they recognize it for what it is, and they go, this is kind of an irritation, but I don't have to be negative about it, I can be positive. And they catch that, they recognize it, then they release it, just like when you're catching fish. You catch it, you let it go. Recognize what it is, but don't let it consume you, so that you can continue to have a great day.
All right, so how did you come up with all of this?
43 years as a personal trainer, dealing with people that a lot of these people are very well off, but were very unhappy. And so I've had 43 years of that process and my life working. I made mistakes when I was younger, but I've also worked for the Department of Corrections, so you see a lot of people making mistakes. I used to speak a lot in these different places, and you hear people give you feedback, and they go, I need more of that. And they'll say, how do you not get upset? And I said, well, I recognize that when I get upset that I'm giving that person power. And slavery has been done with for many years and years and years. And when I give you power over me, I've actually become your slave. I take the power back by taking the control back and responding appropriately in a positive manner.
And you catch it and release it. That's something you talk about as well.
That's one of the main things I talk about in the book. I talk about not judging a book by its cover. I also talk about not always having to be right. A lot of arguments because people feel like they have to be right. You don't have to be right. Allow somebody to be right. Allow that person to be right.
That's harder. That's easier said than done.
You can learn to do that, though, when you recognize that there's power in that. Because you will argue with somebody back and forth. And why? Because you feel like you have to prove yourself. There's nothing to prove. Allow them to be right. Put yourself in their shoes.
All right. Well, if folks want to read your book, they want to pick it up, what should they do?
Amazon.com.
All right. Ron Henderson, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All
Great.
right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Find more local news stories at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.